Yo, it's Dan, Chemistry, SMH. What up, everybody? Welcome in, welcome in. What's up, everybody? Jay, what up? How you guys doing tonight? How's your weekend been so far? You guys doing all right? Gamer guy, Agent Oso, what up, what up? What paint for skin colors? Some of those brands, I think it might be Vallejo or one of those like really popular brands that people use. I think they sell like full blown like skin tone kits. I haven't done a ton of skin tones because I usually stay away from doing that myself. So I don't know for sure, but I know some of those companies make kits specifically designed for that. So about to earn 500 this week. Damn. Okay, Zach, what are you doing making all that money? Black Hole, what up, man? Agent Oso, we're working on this Merciless. Soccer Star, I do have a 3D printer. Honestly, I haven't used it in a while. Zacho and everyone who's been here from the beginning probably remembers. I was printing a bunch of stuff. I made my own diorama. That was fun, but it was massive. As is tradition with all things crispy, I do it large for better or for worse. So the diorama was massive. It was my backdrop for my videos for a long time, but now it's tucked away in storage so that I can have more space for literally anything else, basically. It was pretty massive. But the clear coat looked really good on here. Cough, cough, mess. Yeah. Merciless is looking great. Thanks, dude. Yeah, it's coming out good. Look, check it out. I did the legs too off camera a little bit earlier. It's coming out really good. I'm pretty happy with it so far. I'm hoping if I lock in tonight on this live stream while we're chilling, I can pretty much finish it. We're getting to a good. The hardest and longest part was definitely going to be the chest because the shoulder blades and the armbands and all the gold features everywhere. The legs, I used an acrylic marker instead of the metallic marker, so the gold isn't smearing nearly as much, so it's not as much of a headache down here. So that'll make it easier. And then yeah, the rest of the details aren't very hard to dial in, so it'll be nice and easy. Smooth sailing the rest of the way out. Hopefully. There'll be 37 small details I find along the way, and then it takes me another week and a half to finish this custom. I also want to check out, I'm figuring we'll be able to finish this custom decent amount of time, and there's a couple other customs on my docket I want to work on. Since you since most of you guys in here are my most loyal followers, and just because it's fun in general, I'll give you guys a little teaser for anyone else in here new or whatever. My full length video for this week is Scorpion. So I want to go over that figure. I'll set up my camera here in a little bit. We can go over that figure real quick. There's not too much I want to touch up on that. The figure still looks really good. The paint job's held up really well. Pretty similar to Doc Ock, just like minor details here and there. Also, what's funny is someone commented on the Doc Ock video that he would look really good with a with a coat, and that reminded me that I did buy a coat for that exact Doc Ock, and then I forgot to put it on there. So we can do that at some point too. Chet Hanks. Amazing Stop Motions. What up, bro? No worries. Jay, no, I've never gotten into Dragon Ball. Yeah, mostly DC and Marvel over here. Oh, we're working on Merciless tonight. For everyone coming in and asking. There should be a pinned comment too. Just in case I fall pretty far behind in chat, so I'll honestly probably skip some of the messages asking who I make to make sure I can keep up with some of the other questions and comments and such. Chat's usually pretty good about answering for me too, so hopefully no one takes offense to that. Just my way of trying to make sure I can catch some more, I guess, meaningful parts of chat so we can chit-chat more instead of me getting stuck telling everyone what I'm making all the time. But I obviously haven't experienced too many live streams as a viewer, so I don't know what the pinned comments and stuff look like. So I definitely, I'm not frustrated by anyone that comes in asking what I'm making or anything. Just a PSA that I might not answer that question every time. Starting to look good. I love your action figures. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, dude, I think the blue and red's a nice combo, but yeah, the black wash on the, looking at how clean the bottom half of this leg is compared to the torso and where we did all the black wash already, it's really made a huge difference. And so I think once I touch up a lot of these small details here and we can start doing the metal dry brush on the upper part of this body, it's going to look insane, I think. It's really gonna make it over the top for sure. And yeah, it does look like Wonder Woman because that's the vibe. So I'm glad it comes across that way. He he becomes basically Batman, God of War, because Wonder Woman's killed. So I think it'd be cool to add the Wonder Woman colors to this armor. And it works, like with the sculpting, everything works really easily. Yeah, I saw the Roman key toys, the bulky ones. They look really good. Uh, if they articulate anything like the thinner things, oh man, that would be crazy. You guys are funny in the comments. What do I want to touch up next would probably be... Torso looks good now that I touched up the blue where it wore out. Probably touch up all the black up here now. The shoulders are too clean. I forgot to do a black wash there. I'll probably touch up the black on all the torso now and then reassess again here in a second. Probably do the silver next after the black on the torso, because then that's pretty much all we have left. We'll do the logo here first. And now that we've done the black wash, I can be a lot sloppier with this black touch up, so we can really get that feel of the wear and tear. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna get the gold to look really worn out, but I got some ideas. I'll show you guys once I get to that part. All my customizers, storytellers, creators in the chat. What's some stuff you guys been working on recently? I know some of you guys in the Discord are always sharing your stuff. That's super cool. I love seeing all the cool stuff you guys are always making in there. Definitely keep sharing always. I think for the black on the abs, I'll probably just add a lot of dry brushing. I think I'd be content with that, but we'll see. After I add the dry brushing, if I feel like there still needs to be more, I'll bounce ideas off you guys once we get there. We'll mess around with it. It feels like there needs to be more, definitely. Large body like that custom on those Roman key. Who would be a good, like, highly articulated, like, bulky custom? Honestly, maybe something like a Power Man Luke Cage would be really cool, I think. That's one of my first ideas that come to my mind. Honestly, a Bane. You could do a Bane on there would look really good, I think. I don't know, what are some other figures that would look good on like a really big, highly articulated body? Doesn't have to be Marvel or DC. For anyone else who has a knowledge of other franchises, my knowledge is obviously limited. Yeah, Conquest from Invincible would be smart. I'm always thinking of Luke Cage because I just feel like we don't have enough good like Luke Cage. We could always use more. I think Luke Cage continues to be a super underrated street level like good guy. As Zacho, I put a poll in my Discord. I wanted to add Luke Cage to my universe, and he didn't get a lot of love on the votes. Surprisingly, or not surprisingly, I don't know. I'm hoping he comes back to the MCU in the Daredevil show, especially now that Jessica Jones is confirmed to be coming back. I liked those shows. I think they were really good. I know in the comics, Luke Cage and Jessica Jones are usually together, so that'd be a good way to bring Luke back. Plus, I know the Iron Fist. I never even bothered watching the Iron Fist show because I always heard how bad it was. But I did see, Iron Fist was in Luke Cage season 2 like once or twice, and that was honestly some of the best when they were together. So hopefully they do like a Heroes for Hire with them two together. I think that'd be a really good show. I think it'd be really cool if they kept like a lot of the street level stuff, just like TV shows on Disney Plus and stuff. I think that could work. If that's how we get like, another season of Moon Knight and Luke Cage, Iron Fist. There's some other good street level guys you'd want to see. Oh, I know Punisher's getting like a special release. Obviously, continue with Daredevil. Love Daredevil. Or some other street level guys we could see. Maybe some lesser known ones. It was cool that he made Hawkeye like street level, so that could work. With Kate Bishop and everything. Probably be a good idea to continue to develop the Young Avengers on Disney Plus too, with like Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, all that. I think based off of I haven't even seen the season finale yet, but it's been spoiled for me so much, like bits and pieces of it. I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume, a lot of people thought Ironheart was gonna be part of the Young Avengers, and I'm presuming maybe not right away. I'll discuss further if everyone here has seen it or doesn't care about spoilers or whatever. Like I said, I haven't actually seen it for myself, but I know the gist of what happened. Brad, what's up? Oh, and to answer your question, I just saw who asked that. Lord Alcatraz. No, I've never done a Gundam, but I've loved watching videos of people doing Gundam customs, like painting them up and stuff, and so I've always wanted to try. It's definitely on my short list of like things to do when I like branch out for different customs. I definitely want to try my hand at a Gundam. I think that'd be really fun. I think there's such a unique way of painting Gundam too, so it'd be like pretty different from what I'm used to, which is fun. That's, you know, that's how I personally learn different things when it comes to this. Because I use like some of the techniques I learned from watching those Gundam makers and like added it to painting up stuff like this. So for anyone who ever asked me to, I guess that's a good way to like help like create your own like distinct style. Just like branch out and watch things and learn things that maybe don't make sense right away. Like why would that, you know, how could that possibly help me? And then you might learn some cool little tricks here and there. I almost exclusively watch people who do miniature painting, and it's such a unique way to paint compared to how we do like full-size scale painting. And there's so much cool stuff you can learn from those dudes and gals. I've seen some incredible artists on YouTube, Instagram, stuff like that. Miniature painters definitely make me wish I had a airbrush, though, that's for sure. Some of the really cool stuff they do with airbrushes, I'm like, damn, wish I had one of those. What's the best company? Like the best company that makes action figures, or the best company that just like strictly distributes them? Like are you looking for stores, or like what are my favorite like companies? I would say company wise, obviously I still buy a lot of Hasbro and McFarlane. I would say it depends on your budget. If you're still like kind of tight budget wise, I'd say that for what it's worth, even with the prices going up, it's still pretty good. You know, Marvel, DC. I would say Jada Toys is really making some noise for like $20-$25 figures. Who else? Mattel, they make some really good. The He-Man stuff is pretty great. If you're looking for companies who distribute, Big Bad Toy Store, they might be a little behind at times at like getting stuff in stock, but they're super reliable. Entertainment Earth takes forever, but again, ultra reliable. Amazon seems to be the fastest when it comes to pre-orders. I remember when Maximum Spidey was coming out, I pre-ordered it through Pulse of all places, thinking that's the safest bet. No, it took forever. I felt like I was the last one to get it. I ended up finding it it was on Best Buy's website, so I ended up buying it through there and canceling my Pulse pre-order. And I know people who had their Pulse pre-order, and I think still haven't gotten Maximum. They might have gotten it by now, but somehow the company itself was the last one to distribute the figure. Go figure. Oops, no pun intended. Conspicuous, what up? Blannery, my man, what's up, guys? What's up? McFarlane. Yeah, that's fair. I've ridden the McFarlane hate train at times, and I'm still very critical of him, but as you can tell, I still buy a lot of his toys, so. I actually got a new McFarlane today. Ran to Walmart, ran some errands today with my with Miss Crispy, and had to get. I found the movie Mr. Terrific, and after seeing the movie the other night, falling in love with it, and I was like, okay, well now I need all the characters from the movie, right? Naturally, it's how that goes. I already had the David Cornsweet Superman. And so now I was like, oh, perfect, Mr. Terrific. I left behind Ultraman. I might get him one day. And then they didn't have any Lex, but hopefully they make some. There's not too many other characters I think deserving of figures in that movie, but it would be cool to see a Nathan Fillion, Guy Gardner, and Isabella Hawkgirl. I'm wondering if maybe he waits to put those out, because if you guys saw the new trailer for Peacemaker, those characters are in that show too, so maybe he just waits to put them out. But that should also probably give us hope that they're definitely going to come in this line eventually, even if Todd's losing it, because they seem to be characters that are going to stick around a while, so. Daniel, thank you. We are working on Merciless tonight. We are where we're at, Conspicuous. So the top has been clear coated, black washed. I missed the shoulder blades. I have to do those. But I'm just going through the top half of the figure right now, just touching up a lot of the black and gold and the blues and everything. And then next we have to. I'm going to do a metallic dry brush on the top, and then we will put the legs back on, do a black and metallic dry brush of those, and then we're done. So, if you know how movies are like broken down to 3 acts, I would say we're entering Act 2 of this custom. I think last night when I was doing the black wash, because the marker was still not fully dry, that's why I hate using these metallic markers sometimes. As you can see here, it's like really cloudy. I think the gold like smeared all over, so now I'm just trying to touch up the blacks all throughout here. So that it's just, the black part's a little bit more pronounced than in turn, you know, the gold's more present too. I can be a little sloppy with it because, especially now it's clear coated, it kind of just brushes right off. Plus, it'll just add some extra wear and tear too. So I think I was being too precise in the beginning. I just got to slap some paint on here. This is tedious. I'll be here all night. These are the dilemmas I face, and what makes my customs take forever to finish sometimes is I'll get stuck on these really small details forever, which, you know, I don't think is a bad thing per se. I think, for me personally, I don't know, I think that's what helps set me apart from a lot of other people. You know, I take great pride in every single detail, especially now that these guys are like telling overarching story. Well, not this guy. This is just a random one-off customer doing, but you know what I mean, like in general. So I'm a perfectionist who takes great pride in his work. I always have been. So cool. So I honestly think the waist up is done until we get to the metallics. So sorry, I'm trying to catch up on some of these. I'm like super locked into the custom tonight, so Destroyer Pals, welcome in. Hoogle Doogle, what's up, man? Thank you for watching all my stuff. We're working on a Merciless tonight. Batman variant. This is a pretty cool guy. This custom work we're doing really makes him that much cooler. I like it. I need to touch up the hands at some point too. Yeah, I think we're gonna do a black wash on the reds down here on the boots, and then on the shoulder pads. We don't have too much black wash left to do, so that's good. It'll be nice and easy, quick and easy. And then once we're done with the black wash, we can move on to metallics. There's some metallics I want to touch up. And then I think we're pretty much done on this guy. Thank you, Doodle. I appreciate it, man. Basil Bros, what's up? Yeah, Australians aren't the only people who use mate. My girlfriend and her brother say mate all the time. Okay, let's blackwash the shoulders first. Going pretty heavy with the blackwash, especially because I have some overpaint in the corner here, so nothing like a little blackwash to hide that. Yeah, this really helps bring the gold together too. Kind of tarnish it a little bit. Nice. I think that looks, this one's a little cloudy in comparison. There we go. Nice. Okay, that's better. This side's still brighter for some reason. Whatever. That'll probably even out when I clear coat it. I don't know why this side's a little bit brighter. Now we do the boots. This is a doubler card. This is Merciless. No need to apologize, Pred Helmet. I'm just happy you're here now. Cool, fantastic. Curtis, what up? Beating up kids. Yeah, Death and Black Hole, that's super 90s, right? I was thinking the same thing. Are we getting so old that like our lingo is becoming like retro? And now the kids are like unironically saying it. I want to go like super heavy with the blackwash on the boots because kind of like with the Batman Who Laughs we did last night, that's where like the majority of wear and tear is going to be, right? It's like on the boots. Yeah, look at how much of a difference. I think just really dulling down that red just makes a huge difference. Curtis, what up? Custom battle damage Mega Man. Oh, I bet that looks awesome. Louise, what's up, man? We're making a Merciless tonight. This we're doing a black wash on this one, Pred. Then we're gonna go through with a metallic dry brush right after this. I think like the heavy black wash like this, and then the metallic dry brush on top will really help with like the, you know how like Beetle came out, or how the Doc Ock even really helps sell like this nice deep like metallic armor feel. Cool. $106 subscribers. That's amazing, dude. Congrats. Glad to see you're growing, and you'll just keep growing. Can't wait. Can't wait to see you keep growing, man. You deserve it. I know everyone. I know I probably speak for everyone that we love seeing all your digital and hand-drawn renders, all your different characters and stuff. It's always cool to see your unique takes on the characters. A smaller brush for some of this metallic touch-up. Mostly stuff around the waist where the chain is. Got a little excess paint on there, so we'll go through here, touch that up. And I think to help make this look a little bit more tarnished, kind of like the Batman Who Laughs last night, you know, we touched up the metallics and it kind of made it like almost too bright for the wear and tear that the rest of his body had. So I'll make sure to like black wash this, or maybe even rust it a little bit. where's your extra chainmail that I didn't know about yet? There's some down under here. There's a lot of extra chainmail. Once I pull this skirt down, this is like detail you'll probably never even actually see. Because it's obviously I didn't even know the sculpting was here until I took this figure half apart. But who would I be to skip some extra paint work, you know? Just want to be a crispy custom without a little over the topness. Paint every detail imaginable. Cool. Touched up the armor bits there. Got some back here. Tonight to Merciless, we are touching up some of the details from last night, finalizing some of the details on the upper body, and then a little bit today and a little bit before I went live, did some work on the bottom half of the body. So we're just gonna go over that as well, and then do some final touches and hopefully finish him. And then we're gonna move on to some of my other customs I've been working on. Like I was telling people, Scorpion is the next full-length video I'm putting out, so I'd like to get to him at some point tonight in some way, shape, or form. Ever since putting out my Superman video yesterday, I've gotten a bunch of comments about it. So I've been thinking about it ever since, and been thinking about like what my like take on like a Justice League and everything would be. You know, like kind of like this style, which I think DC does a lot of styles like this, kind of to begin with. Like we were talking about last night. Like I guess my world wouldn't be too far off from like an Arkham universe. I think it'd be fun to play around with. Like maybe like more tactical, maybe like I guess like taking like quote unquote more grounded approaches to people like Green Lantern, Superman, stuff like that. It'd honestly be kind of fun because, like, how do you, like, really ground those characters, right? So taking on that task would be kind of fun. Plus, I think the villains would be really fun to make in DC. Also, the Justice League is massive, and so there's like a million characters I could come up with. Oh yeah, of course, Brett. Haven't sides, no worry. Glad to see you're here tonight. Spider-Man fan, what up? Kind of. It's Merciless with like Wonder Woman coloring. Dr. Egghead from Marvel, yeah, that would be fun. Like Plastic Man, yeah, exactly. Blannery. Playing Minecraft, that's what's up. Yeah, we're making this is a Merciless that we're painting up like Wonder Woman colors. Oh yeah, that's another thing I got to touch up is the spikes on these armbands. You're painting up your so I saw you're painting up your Invincible again sides. What do you have to do to it now? Are you like completely repainting it? Gamer guy Mike, what up? Maybe I could even use this Merciless and build around this. What if Merciless was like a Thanos level threat and the leftover like Justice League or members had to fight this guy in an alternate timeline? I think that'd be fun because this Batman definitely seems pretty OP. Like those guys would definitely have their hands full. Yeah, chemistry's been around for a long time. Sides, I think I'm gonna get that Batman. I have a very specific reason why I'm getting it for a custom. I'm sure a lot of people will never guess what I could possibly be doing with that. But I think it's also gonna be cool to have an extra because the one I have, I've played with a lot since buying it. And so he's still pretty sturdy, but he's definitely a little bit more loose and worn out, has some like Has some definite signs of like wear and tear here and there. Death in a Black Hole is consistent though. OG or not, I appreciate every single last one of you. I think more important than anything is the constant support that you guys give me. That means the world to me. Doing stuff like this, bouncing ideas off each other all the time. Especially now that you guys talked me into doing a Discord, that's been so fun having like the Discord to go to like reach out to you guys directly and get ideas from you guys on when I'm like working on stuff has been so fun. They said the Phantom Menace sucks. That's crazy. No, I haven't seen your side motions yet, Pred. I'll have to watch them tonight. Kane Spider-Man clone suit or a classic Ben? Ooh. Yeah, I'd probably have to go Ben. The prequel trilogy. Yeah, dude, the Disney prequel trilogy, I will always be its #1 hater. I think ultimately it wasn't bad until Rise of Skywalker, where they just like completely gave up trying to make it make sense and just basically like he spent it was Zack Snyder, right? He spent all of episode 9 retconning all of episode 8. And like I didn't love episode 8 at the time. I thought it was like kind of a little too heavy on the comedy. There's a lot of like fake out deaths and this and that. But as I gave it more time, I came to understand what they were going for with the whole like, you know, killing off Snoke and making what's her name? Making Rey not related to anyone, just like her parents being nobodies. It just kind of like given the idea that like you know, you don't have to be be related to a legacy character to be a Jedi, and that like there's all these Jedi out there still, right? And I definitely didn't like the way they treated Luke's character, but you know, I definitely understood the direction they're trying to go. So I think if episode 9 just played off of that, it would have been fine. But he just spent all of episode 9 retconning episode 8. He made her a Palpatine, which makes no sense. Everyone almost died about 37 times, and they're all fake out deaths. Like, this is the last movie ever. We've already lost Han, Luke, Leia. Like, kill off Chewbacca in that death scene, right? Like, that adds weight to the movie, especially because it was like when Rey first found out, or yeah, that she had the lightning abilities, right? So if you want to lean into Rey like struggling with like her, you know, her origins and her upbringing and everything, then do it. Don't back out. Like just like stick to it. I just saw a lot of stuff like that was kind of cheap. It's like the potential was there, and I just kind of backed out time and time again. Yeah, the whole new director, each movie. I understand what they were going for, and I think heavy. I think it could have worked, but I if you wanted that to happen, you had to have at least made sure they're all like on the same general page. You know, there's like a far more like cohesive overarching story that they're going for. But the fact that they more so just were like, okay, now it's your turn to make a movie, and don't worry about what the last guy did or what the next guy wants to do. Just go out there and go nuts. Um, Definitely like ruined any chance of that like working out. And so I think by the end of it, that's why we got just so much like retconned like slop. Because they're like, well, I don't know, we got to do something. And what they did was not it. And I think it's cool that, you know, we got a far better Luke in Mando season 2. And I think all of that, but I think that's the same thing too, though, right? It was like, so Grogu goes away to train with Luke, and you're thinking, oh man, we're Mandalorian, you know, he's going to be on his own for a while now, right? Um, so I'm thinking, oh man, like, you know, this is going to play heavy on like Din now. He's, you know, like struggling with like losing his, you know, his little like friend, right? It's like his son, basically. Same way that like he lost his family, right, during the siege. Um, and like just him going through the galaxy by himself, and then also like, you know, we know what ultimately happens to everyone that went with Luke, right, based off of Episode 8. So then you could be like, oh, you know, at what point does Grogu like, when does he bite the dust, and like how's that all play out? And then instead, we got none of that, and within what 4 or 5 episodes of a Boba Fett show, nonetheless, we check in on Grogu with Luke and Ahsoka, and Grogu decides to go with Mandalorian, and now everything's fine again. It's like, dude, like, no. Yeah, the Sabine stab fake out. It's like I guess that's like part of Star Wars, right? It's like the plot armor. You know, they decide who um, survives based off of plot armor, right? But like, yeah, I don't know, like when certain people's like fake out death so hard, it's like you just start to lose the weight of it, you know. All right, I got a lot of metallic paint on my hand. Let me wash it before I start smearing it everywhere and get mad. Yeah, I think the Boba Fett show was all right. I feel like the back half of it was terrible, in my opinion. Oh, Death in a Black Hole. I agree. I personally think the Sand People like throwback stuff was like some of the best parts of that show, and I thought that was so fun to like see how he like, you know, like join their culture and like learn stuff from their culture, and in turn they learn stuff from his culture, and especially like because then by the time like the what was that other faction called? The Pikes. Once they like killed off all of the all of his people, it was heavy. And then yeah, just for him to go back to Jabba's palace, and I guess like his whole thing was like he wanted to rule differently, right? Which okay, fine. I think that's good because he's having like that character growth by learning from the Sand People and stuff. But then he's almost like too weak, and I understand he's still recovering from a lot of his injuries and whatnot. But dude, Boba Fett wasn't like a wimp. I guess like ultimately by the end of the show we get to see him ride a Rancor, so I guess he's pretty all right by the end of it. But I think too is like they should have leaned real heavy into like the crime stuff, like the underworld, like because what about the Han Solo movie, right? When we got Darth Maul, and so we got the Crimson Dawn and everything, and like of course by the time of the Boba Fett show, Darth Maul is officially dead in canon, but you still have the Crimson Dawn, and then you have the Pikes. You could have like Boba Fett and his people. I think that show would have been far better if they left the Mando stuff out of it. I mean, the Mandalorian can still show up because he's his friend, so that makes sense. Like in the end, when he's like, okay, I need help fighting off these dudes, that makes sense. Yeah, call in Din, but otherwise, like, focus on like, yeah, the Sand People background. I thought that was really fun. Like I said, some of the best parts of the show, honestly, in my opinion. Show him like start to like build his legacy. If he wants to do it differently than Jabba, that's cool, but show us. Instead, we just see him get beat a couple times, and then he kills Cobb, or not Cobb Vanth. Cobb Vanth almost gets killed by the blue dude. Why am I forgetting his name? Cad Bane. And then Boba, quote unquote, kills Cad Bane. We all know he's still alive, but Dave Filoni won't kill off all of his babies. But I don't know. I guess that's just like, I try not to get too bent out of shape about it because it just feels like when we talk Disney Star Wars, it's just so much of like what could have been, Apparently, season 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi was just randomly greenlit. I don't know what they could do with that. I think it'd be cool to explore him like learning the Force stuff with Qui-Gon, and then more of like the Inquisitors. I loved seeing like Darth Vader be ruthless. I think that was so cool. Like when he's like going through that village, just like dragging people through the fire and stuff. Like, yeah, give me more like absolutely psychotic, ruthless. Vader. Yeah, I'm excited for Fantastic Four 2. Chemistry, what's your confession? Sorry, I'm catching up on comments. Yeah, like a Bantho. I think it was funny, yeah. Anika, we're doing Merciless. I think we talked about this yesterday, but I think Pedro Pascal is a good casting for Mr. Fantastic ultimately. No, it's not 3D printed. This is from the 2-pack that Todd just put out recently. If you're a comic character, unless you're Gwen, you don't stay dead. Yeah, literally. Thank you, Anika. Thank you. I appreciate it. Maul versus Ben is the best slice. Yeah, it's a good one. I know some people are like, oh, how can that possibly be the best one? Because it lasts, a couple minutes. But I think it's the emotional importance and relevance of that fight that makes it one of the best, you know? Darth Maul for so long wanted nothing more than to kill Kenobi, and you know, by the end he loses to Kenobi again. But you know, they kind of both get that closure, for better or worse. But I think it's also cool too that, you know, Darth Maul also hates the Sith by then because he got screwed over by Palpatine several times. So, you know, for him to come to Tatooine to fight Ben one last time and realize why Ben's there, you know, he says, you know, like, is he going to be the one that saves us? So I think that was all cool. I honestly, I never watched Rebels when it was coming out, and I was so far behind on that stuff. And I think around the time Ahsoka was coming out, or maybe before it, I was like, okay, I guess I should finally watch some of this stuff. And wow, that's probably some of the best Star Wars ever. I absolutely loved that show. I loved Bad Batch, was amazing. And then I started going back and watching like all the animated Star Wars stuff. I was like, wait, I've been missing it. I've been sleeping on some of the best Star Wars ever. I haven't done much of the Clone Wars just because there's so much, because I'm like, oh my goodness, where do I even start with this? But I know that I'll really like that once I get to it, so. I think the Bad Batch was amazing. That was a really fun show, really emotional show by the end of it. Oh, it's they're decapitated over here, Anika. Sides, I gave the movie and Superman movie like a 9.5 out of 10. I thought it was amazing. Honestly, even made me cry at a couple spots. I'm a softie, but yeah. You never watched any Star Wars? That's impressive, Blannery. Are you like anti-Star Wars? Like you don't want to watch Star Wars, or you just never got around to it? Because if so, it seems like everyone in this chat will agree with me that Star Wars is amazing and you should give it a try. At least I think so. But if you don't like it or you're not interested, that's okay too. And so as far as your question about Thunderbolts, I would say probably... I think if I were to build a Thunderbolts, I think like having Red Hulk there is important to the story. Who else would I want there? Like, for sure. I would probably say like... Honestly, maybe like the Thunderbolts where it's like Punisher, Agent Venom, stuff like that. And then like, as far as characters like from the Thunderbolts, like we got in the cinematic universe, I would say like, I love Yelena's character, so maybe I'd bring her over. John Walker I like a lot in the Thunderbolts. So that's probably some of the characters I'd bring over to my side. But what are some of your guys' Thunderbolts look like? Would you keep it just comic accurate? I mean, even in the comics, they've had a couple iterations now, right? But as do most things. Yeah, the 2D. Sorry, I'm going back on some messages now. Yeah, the 2D Clone Wars was amazing, dude. I remember. Now that I remember from childhood, because I remember having some of the toys. I remember having the dude, the Dirge. That guy was so cool. I wish we could get him in the Black Series or in canon or something. He was just so cool. That was one of my favorite toys when I was a kid. I had gotten the one with the glider that comes with his like little speeder or whatever. So that was so fun. Star Trek and Stargate. Yeah, see, I never really, honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest. I never really gave Star Trek a chance. I watched the live action ones that came out a few years back with Chris Pike. And I know I know people said they're pretty decent movies, all things considered. And I remember liking them for the most part. But I never got too big into Star Trek. Personally, I was my dad was a huge is I shouldn't say was is he's still a massive Star Wars fan, so that's definitely where I got my love of Star Wars from such an early age. I remember going to Phantom Menace opening night. I remember so vividly because I was so excited. We were running to the car. I was running to the car as a kid does, and I tripped and busted my knee. And I was like, "Oh no, we're gonna be late for the movie now." Got a bloody knee. But a bloody knee did not stop young Crispy from seeing the Phantom Menace. All right, cool. I tarnished the gold up top, so that looks really good now. I think the hands are still bright. Don't worry, I just have to fix that update. They haven't gotten clear coated yet, so that will dull down once they get clear coated, and then I think everything else is starting to look really good. I guess I could do a quick black wash on the body too, or on the hands. She trying to go in the cube. Perfect Thunderbolts, Red Hulk, Agent Venom, Bucky, Elena, Taskmaster, Red Guardian, Sentry. That's a pretty good Thunderbolts. Sorry, Fred Elmer, bro. I'll see you when you get back. BD, what's up, man? Oh, I saw. I'm pretty sure I saw Attack of the Clones in theaters, but I know for a fact I saw episode 1 and I remember seeing episode 3 open night too. I was playing little Crispy was playing baseball at the time, and my dad was like, okay, do you want to go see the new Star Wars after your baseball game?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I do." So he brought me and my sister, and we went and saw it opening night, and that was amazing. I'll never forget. A bus pulls up, and all these dudes pour out of the back of the bus, like a school bus, dude. I swear to God, a school bus. All these dudes come pouring out of the bus in like Jedi robes and lightsabers and stuff, and little me, little old me at the time, I'm like, whoa, that's so cool. All right, I doled down the paint on the hands best I could. Like I said, I think it'll dull the rest of the way once it gets the last little clear coat. Plus I black washed it. I'll hit a couple more like high areas with the yeah, it's looking good. It's looking real good. Are you making the spawn? No, we're working on Merciless, but we're giving it like Wonder Woman colors to kind of like lean into the lore of Merciless. Make it anime style custom Flash, or I would say do Flash and Spider-Man. That would be cool to see anime versions like that. Another Superior Spider-Man based off your Doc Ock, if you know what I mean. That would be cool. I think that would be fun. Did the Image Comics verse? Ooh. Well, Spawn definitely would be number one. I love Spawn. Other than that, if I'm completely honest, I'm not super familiar with a lot of Image stuff. What are some other good characters that would be cool? Well, is Invincible Image Comics? Yeah, okay, so yeah, definitely like Spawn, Invincible. Did some of those Rob Liefeld characters he made in the 90s for Image would be cool. Benji, what up? Oh yeah, Black Hole, that would be so cool, right? Take a time machine to go back in time and see all the movies and stuff we missed as kids. And concerts, yeah, absolutely. What would be one of the first like old concerts you would go to? How in the world did I even get these legs off in the first place? Ugh. Oh boy. Uh-oh. I broke the chain right off. Huh. Well, that seems like a design flaw, huh? I need to be able to... Did I put this on backwards by chance? No, that definitely looks like the butt cheek. Just like diaper piece is a lot more firm than... I need to get the backside on first, and then the front usually... There we go. Okay, well that like went on way easier. What the heck? I broke the chain off and everything on this side. This is the only downside. Taking these figures apart is for some reason they never go back as easy, and then the paint starts to wear off. Come on, man. Why did the one leg go on so easy? Please. Just go on. What if I go front first? Did that work? Thank goodness. That was a nightmare. That was a nightmare game. Okay, well this chain popped out, but it looks like it was just glued in there, so I can glue that back just like that. No other paint really got messed up or anything. Well, besides the leg, but that's gonna be easy. Kind of looks cool too. That's the only good thing sometimes to happen on one other custom I did. And it just ended up looking like cool wear and tear, so I left it. I took it apart just to paint it better. I was going to keep the legs and stuff on originally, but then to be able to get to other parts of the figure, I had to take the legs off, and so then I just left them off and painted it like that. Sometimes it's easier, but then obviously this proved not to be the case for parts. Ravenly, we're working on Merciless tonight. Drop some glue on this, not a lot. Otherwise it won't sit right in this cavity. Oh shoot. This cavity is like really tiny, so I think if I like flood it with super glue, it definitely won't stick right. Okay, cool. Okay, crisis averted on the chain. Yeah, that looks sick. So I think, well, I gotta touch up the blue on the legs now. That'll be relatively easy though. Let me get this one pretty dry. I'm honestly wondering if I just like touch up this blue, but not like perfectly, so a little bit of red still peeks through in some areas to kind of give like the wear and tear vibe to the suit. What do you guys think? Am I gonna paint the heads? Yeah, let me show you the heads. The one's just unmasked, so there's not really much I'm gonna do to that one. There's his like, looks like his one of his eyeballs is like gouged out, so add some blood to that so it's a little bit more gruesome. Seems to be the trend with these DC customs. think I like how worn out these knee pads ended up being because I couldn't get the dang legs on. So, but I'll hit it with like silver. Yeah, I thought about doing a cloth skirt. Krispy Kreme, yeah, is actually where my name came from. Funny enough. Way back in the day when I was getting ready to make my first ever Instagram, my friends would call me Krispy Kreme. So that was my very first Instagram handle ever. So that is indeed the origin of the crispy. The donuts, yeah. Yep. Ash, what up? Welcome back. So I'm gonna get one of my dry brushing brushes. We're gonna start hitting this bad boy with some silver. We're gonna hit those knee pads first so we can fix that. I feel like the most wear and tear is gonna be down on this like cuff piece. That would make the most sense. And then we'll get like slowly less and less as we go up the scales. Kamen Rider, yeah, this is Merciless. You know what's funny is like I wasn't like especially fond of the donuts or anything. I don't know how you earned that nickname. Caleb, I saw it the other night. Silver looks good. Thank you, thank you. I did, yeah. I've been updating the little setup a little bit here and there sides. How's that look? Blannery, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you. I'm happy with how he looks so far. Well, he's pretty much done, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more. Oops, sorry. Sorry, I always like dip off the camera. I got a bad habit of forgetting. That's something I gotta pay attention to. I'll say left-handed because I'm a lefty, so I think it'd be cool if he was left-handed. Add extra wear and tear on the left side. Is that what you're gonna say? I got a. What else do I want? I want to. Sure, there's a lore reason why this thing's gold, but I'm just gonna add a ton more silver to it. I already had a pretty decent dry brush on it, so by adding some more silver on top, we'll get a bunch of layers on here, and then yeah, that looks pretty good now. Might not come across on camera as good, but it just looks really worn out now because there's so many different layers of. And it was just like bronze all the way, so I painted the handle black and then put the little silver at the bottom. I put a little silver here too, touch up the handle because it looks like it's got a bunch of sparkles on it now. Sacco, I was wondering where you've been. It's a little quiet. Sometimes it gets a little too calm when there's no Zacco to cause chaos. Old-fashioned icon, look at you. You look cute. Yeah, I like your little outfit. You're so fashionista these days.
Let's play with it.
Mm-mm. Oh, the shoes bring it all together. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Why do you think I'll lie to you?
Or should I style them like this?
Would you have them before player?
Yeah, like the thing for
Loose.
Loose?
Yeah.
Okay, fly.
You're leaving?
Are you on mute?
No.
Oh.
Love you.
She just wanted to show you.